Hello dear friends, I'm Marina from marsstars.net, and today we'll talk about the full moon that occurs on the 31st of March. It's gonna be a very interesting full moon because we have some exciting but at the same time challenging aspects. So stay with me if you want to learn how you can use the energy of this full moon, how you can benefit from this. And there will be some general information about the aspects, about the influence of the energies, and also I will make a short forecast for each of the zodiac signs and how specifically you can use this full moon. First, let's start with the general information. The full moon is on the very last day of March, and it will be in Libra and Aries. The moon will be on the 11th degree in Libra, and the sun will be on the 11th degree of Aries. So generally what we can use this full moon. First of all, as usual, this is a great time to separate with something. Something that you don't like, something that you don't need, something which is stopping you from achieving what you want and manifesting your desires. This could be like a bad habit that you have, or some unhealthy behavior, or some kind of negative emotions, experiences, memories, relationships, jobs. For everyone, this could be something different. But the main idea is that now is a great time when you can separate with those things. But remember, we can only separate with things that we are ready to let go. So this is a great time actually to test if you're ready to separate with those things. And of course, the main focus is generally on the things related to the energies of those signs, Libra and Aries. This axis is generally related to our relationships with others. Aries is the sign which represents our personal actions, our personal desires, our also independence. And on the other hand, Libra is the sign which helps us to connect with other people, to have those close, meaningful relationships and partnerships with others. And basically this opposition requires from us to find the balance. This is a general topic for each opposition, but specifically when we also have Aries and Libra, this is about finding the balance between ourselves and other people, between our personal emotions and desires, and on the other hand, the desires or the needs of other people. And from one side, we may want to do something on our own. We have this strong Aries energy, which is about taking action, being independent. But on the other hand, we need to balance all of those situations and desires if we want to keep our relationships and if we want to appreciate our partners. So generally, if there is something that you would like to separate with in these areas, maybe some of your relationships are still, kind of a burden for you. Maybe you haven't separated with someone, or at least you haven't separated with the memory for this relationship. This is a great time to concentrate on that and really to let it stay in your past. Something else which is important about the full moons, these are also the times when we can materialize something. Basically, the full moon is the culmination of the lunar cycle. That's why this is the time when you can materialize or achieve material success in certain area. That's very important. So don't forget, the moon is the most materialistic planet. That's why when we see it so bright in the skies, basically that's the time when we can materialize more things in our lives. We can achieve material success. Now let's talk about the aspects that we have, because they're very interesting and important, of course. First of all, we still have Mercury Retrograde. And not only that, but also Mercury Retrograde makes exact conjunction with the Sun and opposition with the Moon. So Mercury is in the center of our attention. And it suggests that this is a great time to think about our past, to separate with something from the past, or maybe to achieve and materialize something which we have started previously. Maybe it didn't work very well for any reason. We have forgotten it, or we have let it go, or for some reason now you can restart those projects, those new goals, or maybe even some relationships for some people. So when Mercury is included in this full moon and Mercury is retrograde, this is also a great time for self-analysis, to ask ourselves some questions, what we would like to change, what we would like to achieve. Maybe we need to separate with some of our ideas that are not healthy or not useful or not realistic. This is a great time. Self-analysis, and generally be more introspective. So think about what you can change within you, in your behavior, in your attitude, in your relationships, whatever. Just be more critical also. The other aspects that we have, they are kind of a challenging one, because we have basically a Tau square. Mars and Saturn are almost in an exact conjunction in Capricorn, and they will both square the Sun and the Moon at the same time. Plus, this will be also a very exact Tau square. The orbices are very small. First of all, Mars and Saturn are actually very strong in Capricorn. Saturn rules the sign Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. But on the other hand, this conjunction is absolutely challenging. This is, the energy, the nature of those planets is completely different, Mars and Saturn. So this is a challenging aspect which requires from us to take action, to be initiative, but on the other hand, to be responsible for our actions, and also to be reasonable. So there is a strong desire to take action, but on the other hand, there might be some intense fears that we need to overcome, or some strong challenges, or some boundaries we need to overcome. So I will be honest with you guys, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because, as I said, the energy is completely different, and also the Tau squares are always challenging configurations. But something else we shouldn't forget is that the Tau squares are closed configurations which bring incredible strength. And we can be extra motivated, and we can be very brave, and we can be very persistent about the things we want to achieve. But it's important to remember, whatever it is that we want to achieve right now, it will require time, and also effort, and being really organized and structured and aware of our desires, being concrete. These are the topics related to Saturn, but also Mars in Capricorn. And something else which is important, the rulers of the full moon are Mars and Venus. Mars rules the sign Aries, where we have the Sun. Venus rules the moon, which is in Libra. And we said about Mars, it's exalted in Capricorn, which means a very strong position for the ruler. The other ruler, Venus, the ruler of the moon, is also very strong because it is in Taurus, the sign of its rulership. So basically, the two rulers of the full moon are extremely strong. That's helpful because it can help us to be engaged with some practical things, some material things. I would say that this full moon in general is about practical results and becoming aware of the truth, becoming aware of the reality. And don't forget, the main or the strongest element in the skies right now is the earth element. We have 4 planets in earth signs: Venus in Taurus, Mars and Saturn, and Pluto are in Capricorn. So the strongest energy right now is the earth energy. So this is about being grounded, being patient, hardworking, and also realistic about what you would like to achieve, and concrete. And keep in mind that Mercury retrograde can bring some situations from the past which we need to solve, or maybe something that needs to be changed. But on the other hand, if you are constant, if you are really concrete and hardworking and brave and ready to take action, even though you might be afraid of that, then you can achieve success. And this success and those results can be long lasting. And the last aspect that we have is a karmic aspect from Pluto. Pluto will be nonagon with the Sun and centagon with the Moon. These are one of the karmic aspects which are very interesting, very specific. And the most important about those aspects is that they can be very stressful because they are sudden, they are unexpected. So when we talk about Pluto, it's about transforming something. From one side, it could be kind of a challenge for us. It might be difficult, but on the other hand, if you're really wanting to transform something, then this is a great time for you. And we have to mention that basically there are only challenging aspects on this full moon. There are no supportive aspects from the other planets, which means that it might be kind of a tough one, and things may require more work, effort. So just prepare and remember that the positive side is you can feel stronger, you can feel more confident, but also you can achieve long-lasting results. Now let's say a few words about each of the zodiac signs. You should be able to see here the charts with basically the houses which will be activated for each of the zodiac signs, but I will make just a very quick interpretation for you now. We are starting with Aries as usual. For Aries, the full moon, of course, is very important. It activates your cardinal axis. The moon is in 7th house, the sun is in 1st house. So this is about solving some things in terms of your relationships, maybe finding some balance or achieving something together with your partner, or changing something in terms of partnerships and relationships. Don't forget, the place where the moon falls in your chart will show you where you can achieve material success or where you are capable of changing something. So for Aries, this is mostly the area of relationships. For Taurus, the full moon activates 6th and 12th house. So you can change something in terms of your work, daily routines, health, or some kind of business projects. This is the main area which can be activated for you guys. For Gemini, the full moon falls in 5th and 11th house, so you can change or materialize something in terms of your personal desires, in terms of creativity, art, or also your love life. And don't forget, this is also the house related to children, so you can change something with your children or your attitude towards them. Or some of you may decide, for example, that you would like to have your own children if you don't have any. Then for Cancer, the full moon will activate 4th and 10th house. So this is about changing something in terms of your home or family or property issues or the place where you are living. So you can change something or you can materialize something. Next, for Leo, the full moon will activate 3rd and 9th house. So this is about your personal plans, what you would like to change in terms of your communication with others, or maybe something together with your siblings, or also anything related to education and information and knowledge. For Virgo, the full moon activates 2nd and 8th house. So these are the houses related to resources and money and energy. So now you can find maybe some new sources of income, or you can change something in terms of your financial plans, financial goals. You may even decide to spend money on something or to invest your money in something. Next we have Libra. Of course, for Libra, this is a very, very important full moon because it activates your own sign and the opposite sign, Aries. And this is about making some kind of personal change. It could be about your appearance, about your behavior, attitude towards something, personal actions, personal projects, your independence. So concentrate on yourself. Next, for Scorpio, the full moon activates 12th and 6th house. I think this would be a great time, guys, for you to take a rest, to slow down a little bit things, and also to think about your inner needs, spirituality, or some kind of spiritual practices or meditation. This could be a great practice for you, which can help you to connect better with yourself and to recharge your energy. Next, for Sagittarius, the full moon will activate 11th and 5th house. So this is a fantastic time to think about your ideals. Maybe you can materialize something which is kind of a dream for you, or anything related to communities, groups of people, friends. You can do something together, or you can change something in that area of your life. Next, we have Capricorn. For Capricorn, the full moon activates 10th and 4th house, also very important position. This is the cardinal axis, one of the cardinal axes in your chart. And 10th house is about your social achievements, your career, your vocation. So you can change something in that area, or you can achieve something important in terms of social goals, in terms of career, business, or anything related to your vocation. Next, we have Aquarius. For Aquarius, the full moon will activate 9th and 3rd house. So that's a great time, guys, to think about your long-term goals and what could be changed there. Maybe something, you know, needs to be transformed, something needs to be fixed, or maybe you have some new goals that you would like to pursue. And also anything about your education and traveling, and, you know, connecting with the world, connecting with other cultures and other people, and mostly concentrating on your future and what you need to change in that area. And finally, we have Pisces. For Pisces, the full moon activates 8th and 2nd house. These are the houses related to your resources, money, investments. So this would be a great time actually to change something in that area. Maybe some new investments. Maybe you need to find the balance between how much you are spending, how much you are saving, how much you are giving, and how much you are taking from others. And also try to find your inner balance your personal physical energy. This is a great time for some, you know, physical or spiritual practices, energetical practices, which will help you to balance your inner energy. So that's the most important, with just a few words for each of the zodiac signs. Of course, if you want an in-depth personal report, which is done by me, it's not a computer generated report, it's a video recording from me personally for you. If you need such a report, you can find the link in the description below from where you can make the order. And don't forget, the most important is to find where exactly the full moon falls in your chart, and also what kind of aspects it will make with your personal planets. It will give you a lot of information about the possible benefits, or in some cases challenges, which this full moon can bring for you. So this is the most important. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy full moon to everyone.